Hey all, good morning and welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here and welcome to the morning show. It's a very interesting day today because as I've been pointing out in the last few days, QQQ, that's Nasdaq, has reached a critical resistance line. It's a diagonal line of resistance of a long existing bear channel. And right now we are in a bull rally within a bear market. But if we cross this diagonal line of resistance, then we'd definitely be out of the bear market and be a genuine bull rally. So today we have to find out what's going to happen with that, and we're going to get some critical data, economical data. And economists are expecting 258,000 jobs were added in July, down from 372,000 in June. So anything better than that is going to enthuse the market. It will also indicate that the recession prospects are diluting a little bit. So that's one thing that we have. Apart from that, I have got a couple of news items from the genomics sector which are interesting. So let's get started. Well, let's first start off with all the genomics news before we go to other things. As early as August 2020, Editas Medicine had obtained rare pediatric disease designation for its therapy called EDIT 301, which is a potentially best-in-class treatment for sickle cell disease in children from birth to 18 years. The company obtained FDA clearance to initiate what they called as Ruby trial in January of this year. But according to a news article on the company's website, it first had to resolve a partial clinical hold and submit an improved potency assay to the FDA at that time. The good news is that the clinical hold has been released after submission of all the necessary information to FDA. So that's the first positive news we have. The second positive news we have is that following the removal of the clinical hold, last week Editas dosed the first human patient, and that's a big milestone. So this is something very important for our genomics investor community. One more step of progress being made by one more genomic company. So we're getting very close to the first FDA approval, but there's a long road ahead. We can always take any positive news that comes our way, and this is one of those. The next genomic sector news comes from Intelia. So Intelia NTLA 2001 for ATTR continues to make progress after dosing over 30 patients and showing deep and consistent returns for TTR. And Intelia plans to present interim safety and serum TTR reduction data in the second half of this year, which means that we are going to see more action in the next 5 months. We are already halfway into August. So in the next 5 months, we are going to get a lot of good information, which is potentially likely to boost the markets. Intelia did get some setback due to discontinuing current autologous TCR therapy for AML. However, the good news is that their allogenic approach for engineered TCR showed that their allogenic T cells were shielded from immune rejection both by host T as well as a natural killer cell attack. And therefore, Intelia 5001 will now be developed as an allogenic therapy using this new platform. And the earlier autologous approach has been given up. So that's a good news, bad news kind of a situation. So what turned out to be a bad news is now coming out to be a much better approach to the same treatment. So hopefully the new revised NTLA 5001 allogenic therapy is going to perform much better than what the autologous therapy did. With that said, let's move on to other items. We had news. This doesn't pertain to genomics, but we had news towards the end of July that ARK Investment sold 1.1 million shares of Coinbase. And I think that at that time they must have definitely sold it at a loss because the share price has fallen a lot more than 65% from its peak. At least in my portfolio, I see a deep red when it comes to my Coinbase holdings. I had bought it in 3 digits and it fell down significantly. So I know that for sure. ARK Invest still has got 5 million shares of Coinbase in its portfolio. But when a BlackRock partnership was announced a couple of days ago, Coinbase has surged back up again. It has still got a long way to go before it reaches its original peaks. But there are many critics already seizing on this gleefully and saying, Cathy Woods has to explain this and so on and so forth. But from my point of view, this goes to show that despite dedicated analysts and professional asset management practices and education and everything, one can still make mistakes in the stock market. So the lesson we should take is that we should always remember that the stock market is very difficult to time. We just need to aim to buy near the bottom and dollar cost average down, and sell closer to the top in the tranches as we near the peak. So keep on selling small blocks at a time as we continue increasing the share price. It's very difficult to buy at the bottom and sell at the absolute top, and that's the lesson that we need to understand. And no one can time the market. So I don't blame Cathy Woods. It's always difficult. And also when you're doing the strategy of buying closer to the bottom and then dollar cost averaging, chasing it down further, there's always a risk that you are catching a falling knife. And that fear is always there. So it's very difficult to execute even that strategy. And also selling in small tranches as we go up is also difficult, because psychologically, we always feel that if we wait for a little longer, we'll get even more. And during the process, we go to the very high and then the share starts dropping. And we always feel, oh, if we wait for a little more, it'll go back up again. And if it goes even up by $1 or 20 cents, I'm going to sell it. But that never happens. The share continues going down. And at the end of it, we realize that we have been through an entire dip down and all the way to the top. And we did not realize profit. So this has happened to me many times. That's the lesson I want us to remember. It's very difficult, but share market is very psychological. It's a head game. We have to be very careful. We have to be aware of our own biases and our own weaknesses, and learn from the past lessons. Have a clear plan and stick to it, and not allow any external noise disturb our approach. So with that said, let's go on to something political. It's even more clear who the senators represent. It is not their constituents, but it is their anonymous funders. Senator Kristen Sinema agreed to vote in favor of the Inflation Reduction Act after the carried interest provision was removed, thus making sure that her wealthy hedge fund and investment manager donors do not have to pay fair taxes like the rest of Americans. So there you go with the so-called democracy and for the people and by the people approach. I don't know if Kristen Sinema will be re-elected again, but one thing is for sure, there'll be more donors willing to give her money so that they can defend their interests. So she has proved her bona fides, in my opinion, to the corporate donors. That said, now let's move on to Tesla. Tesla's 3-in-1 share split has been approved by the shareholders. So that's a good news, because whenever share split happens, there is a positive outcome for the share prices. Elon Musk also mentioned the possibility of share buybacks. So these are twin factors that will definitely boost the Tesla share price in the market today. So with that said, I think we have to go and look at the a TradingView platform to see what is happening in our pre-market price action. Right now it is 8 o'clock in the morning, so it's rather early, but my aim is to launch this video way before market opens so that you get a chance to see it. So with that, let's go and look at the TradingView platform. So here we are with our TradingView platform. We are looking at Nasdaq futures. Nasdaq future is still positive pre-market, very marginally positive, 0.05, and it's very close to overbought. So there is a little bit of a runway available here for the Nasdaq futures, but at this point of time, I'd consider that to be neutral, because 0.04 is a very small positive when it comes to the futures. Let us look at our indicators at this point of time. Where are they? Here. So I'm looking at US oil. US oil has just bounced back from the support that we have here at 88. I am thinking that US oil is going to go up further, challenge this resistance before coming down again. That's my opinion. But when I look at the MACD, MACD is absolutely bearish, and momentum is also at the bottom, and it's just turning a little upward. So there is a good chance that we'll go down a little bit and come back up again. But overall, I think the way oil has performed, it has had a steep fall so far. 3 consecutive days, I think three days out of 4, it has had a fall. Therefore, I think that it's going to go up a little bit before coming down again. So today, I would expect that US oil will drop. US oil will end up positive at the end of the day. Let us see what happens. QQQ. As you can see in this chart, we are exactly on the diagonal line of resistance for QQQ. And pre-market, we are marginally down. So we have been fluctuating between minus 0.04 and plus 0.04. So the market is still waiting to see what is going to happen with all the slew of payroll reports that we have. Now, if you look at the calendar out here, And if we just scroll down to the USD, so we are going to have a whole bunch of payroll data coming in, average hourly earnings, year on year, average weekly hours, government payrolls, manufacturing payrolls, non-farm payrolls, participation rate, private non-farm payrolls, U6 unemployment rate, etc., etc. So there's a whole bunch of payroll data that's out to come. And if we have a positive outcome in all these data, then I think we'll be definitely getting into the bull territory. And then that would mean that the market had touched the bottom on the 16th of June 2022. Otherwise, we are likely to just drop back down, test the support here, maybe go up or come down again. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But right now, the market is also in the wait and watch mode. Therefore, we don't get any clues out here. The payroll data is all going to come up in another 25 minutes, but by that time I would be compiling this video. So that's the main determination today for which direction the market is going to go. S&P 500 is also marginally positive, 0.08% positive. We are having plenty of runway out here in the RSI for the S&P 500 to move up. MACD is also bullish, but we have a resistance here at 415.60, and also you can see that the momentum is flat out here. So again here the candle is also a doji candle right now, as you can see. So the market is still waiting for the payroll data. IWM Russell's index is down minus 0.21 as of yesterday, and this morning it's up 0.16. So it's kind of waiting again for the payroll reports. And you can see that the momentum is pointed a bit downwards after going closer to overbought. So there is good potential for all these indices to go up. Everything depends on what the payroll data talks about. Dow Jones Industrial Average nicely poised on this bullish Bennett. And as you saw with Tesla, just 4 or 5 days ago, Tesla was poised on a bearish Bennett to go down. But instead, when the company came up with good earnings news, just disregarded the technicals and just broke out of the Bennett upward and moved up. So the same thing could happen here. The natural prediction from technical analysts is that we are going to break up above this Bennett, whereas if the employment data, payroll data doesn't come out well, then we are going to fall down below this Bennett, breaking the technical analysis theories. So that's what we have in store. And if you look at the momentum, it's already pointing downwards, even though the MACD is bullish. But pre-market, it's heartening to see that it's a positive 0.19. So everything, as I said, hinges on the payroll report. VIX is today's VIX. This is the live VIX. It's slightly up, and it's still within the range of yesterday, and it's still maintains itself above the 21.20 line. For us to have much better progress for all the indices, we need to fall below this. MACD is bearish. And we also have a momentum which is below average but slightly picking up, and we are up 1.12% this morning. So we'll have to wait for this. There is no easy way out. It's going to be like waiting for election results. Next, we look at put call ratio. It's totally bullish at this point of time. XLY XLP shows that we were risk on yesterday. We don't know what's going to happen today. US dollar index is marginally up today. After dropping yesterday, and we are up 0.11%. We'll have to see what happens here. If the payroll data comes in the way we expect, then we'll see a good impact on the dollar index out here. With that said, let's go and have a look at the genomics sector and see what's the price action out there. But hold on, let's look at the index movers today and see if they offer any clues to us. I'm going to look at Amazon first. Amazon is up 0.23%. That's marginal. That's okay. At least it's not negative. Let's look at Apple. Apple is negative 0.12%, and Apple has had a steep raise just like Amazon. So we are now getting mixed results out here, and this is a doji candle because people are still having indecision. They are waiting which way to move. Microsoft is up 0.05%, which is very, very negligible pre-market. So it's neither this way nor that way. And if you look at Google, it's down minus 0.19. So we have a mixed outcome in the index moving tech stocks. So QQQ is still on tenterhooks right now. And whereas crypto is concerned, I think crypto is looking good. Bitcoin is continuing on its bull streak. It has cancelled out yesterday's negatives. And Coinbase is still continuing to be positive pre-market 2.09, and that's a good outcome in my opinion. Now let's look at genomics. And when we look at genomics, I'm just going to sort this out just to make sure the winners are on the top. PSEB, the winner from yesterday, still up pre-market up 0.52%. IMTX no trades pre-market, Bluebird no trades pre-market, Allogene no trades pre-market, Invitae up 1.43% pre-market, SKZ no trades pre-market, and Editas down 0.36% pre-market, ArcG no trades pre-market, IDNA no trades pre-market, Regeneron no trades pre-market, Illumina no trades pre-market, Novartis up 0.67% pre-market, CRISPR Therapeutics down 0.52% pre-market, Pfizer down 0.32% pre-market, Caribou Biosciences up 1.64 pre-market, Vertex up 1.51% pre-market, Beam no trades pre-market, Verve no trades pre-market, DNA flat pre-market, Teladoc up 1.04% pre-market, and Intelia down 1.92% pre-market. So we don't have any clear-cut direction out here. It's a mixed bag out here. So with that said, I think I'd like to bring this video to an end. So this video today doesn't offer you any clear direction where it's going. It's all dependent on the payroll report and the economic data that we're going to get today. So be careful out there. Watch what happens in the market. Don't succumb to FOMO or fear of losing out. And yeah, with that, I would like to request you that if you like this video, please press a like out there. And if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe and help us grow this channel. And please don't forget to join us at the live stream at 3:45 p.m. I've moved it from 3:30 to 3:45. Hopefully you're able to join us. We'll be watching the market close, and also we'll be doing a technical analysis on all the genomic stocks and the indices with an idea of understanding what happened during the day and what's likely to happen the next day. And with that, I would like to say bye to you. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.